In the ancient land of YouTube many years ago, an evil warlord controlled the land with an iron fist, and his hunger for blood was immense. He controlled the movies people saw, forcing them to watch romantic comedies and chick flicks. Meanwhile, the monastery of the Blue Tube monks, the chief abbot and head monks ponder on how to help the people. So they created the 24-hour movie marathon, entrusting one student to create one theme with Asian classics and modern wonders. It was here he went and started a quest to create this immense video. Hi guys, yep, that's it, I'm going to do it. I'm doing a 24-hour movie marathon. I know a lot of blue tubers are doing it. This is my first year doing it. I started up my channel last year, around the same time everyone started doing it. I didn't think it was the right time for me to do it, just because I have a daughter who was like 1.5 at the time. So it makes it really difficult to do it. Plus I have a full-time job. And so this year I've decided to fit it in my free time. So I'm going to do like half a day and throughout the week this week. So I'll be filming it throughout the week. I've listed out my films. I've got a few ideas, and we're going to go through it. This is Ryan Chataway's idea. He's another blue tuber, YouTuber, so he does a lot of movie stuff, and this is his idea. It was his concept. Also, you've got Razor Wire Reviews, who does this all the time, and they both go all out on this. I mean, I probably won't go to the same level that they do. I mean, last year I think Razor Wire Reviews did like a 6-hour video. I just do not have the time to edit that and film it. I would love to, and you know, he does a really good job with it. It's fantastic. Mine is just a simplified version. I will be going through the films in this period, as well as like just vlogging like the day as I do it. It is like a very crazy thing to do, because like just to watch movies, like not even movies that, like, you know, when you fancy watching them, this is like you've got this task to do, you got these movies to watch, so let's watch them. Yeah, it's something I don't usually do. I just, you know, chill out, put a film that I pick from this lot here and put them on. So the first one on the list is a film with a number in it. Now I know the cliche is people always choose Seven Samurai, or, you know, probably Magnificent Seven, something like that. This year my marathon is all Asian. I haven't gone for the cliche of Seven Samurai, as much as I'd love to watch that. It's one of my favourite films. I've gone for something which, you know, has been a continuous theme in my videos recently, and it's Takashi Miike. If you haven't guessed it, it is 13 Assassins. This is a violent take on the Seven Samurai. It's, you know, like Takashi Miike, he does do very violent movies. They're sexy at the same time, sexy violence, and this is just a phenomenal movie. I really can't wait to put this on right now. Just like, you know, it's one of the samurai movies he's done. He doesn't do them that often. I know he's got one coming out this year. This was around the time he did the remake of Harakiri. So yeah, I'm going to put this on right now, and I cannot wait to watch it. So I'll see you once this is over. Cool guys. Hi guys, and we're back. Wow, this film is just unbelievable. the performance by Koji Yukishao is just phenomenal. Just during watching this, like, you get a lot invested into it. The beginning, when you hear about the this evil lord, it's a story of an evil lord. He kills his own people, just doesn't give a toss, and he's just protected because he's the shogun's half brother. And there's this horrible scene where he rapes this woman. You don't actually see it, but you see the aftermath, and he's just cut off her tongue, her legs, her arms, and it's just really bad. So that just makes the viewer really invested into this whole film, and you really want to see like his comeuppance, and just it's so satisfying. It is really satisfying to watch. I mean, the violence level is just brilliant. I mean, I love violent movies. I've said this all the time. Like any film where, you know, especially when it's bad guys, like John Wick. I just loved seeing bad guys getting just done over and proper messed up. This one, I mean, it's no different really. I mean, everyone hates this guy, even this other lord who just does anything to help them because he's been screwed over by this lord, and it's phenomenal. The cinematography is fantastic. I mean, Takashi Miike, I don't think the guy can do anything wrong. I mean, the films he's done which are poor, they've still got some element that makes them really enjoyable at the same time, because like I've said in my previous videos, he mixes low art with high art, and even if you're a cult film fan, you can still find something in his movies that you enjoy. Whilst they may not be masterpieces, they're still enjoyable. This one is like one of his best work from recent times, and I've actually got two editions of this. I've got the plain Amaray and this steelbook. The steelbook isn't really much to look at, but yeah, it is just a great movie nonetheless, and you know, I really enjoy his work. From this, I just don't know what to do. Like, what's next is a film beginning with the first letter of my name. My name is Hus, so it's an H, and I can only think of one film which is right next to me. Another Japanese movie, a cult classic. This was released by Criterion not long ago. It's so iconic, it's just mental. After seeing something like that, I'm just going even more crazy here now. I'm really going to suffer, because this film is just even more like this isn't violent, but this is just bonkers. It's House. Has anyone seen it? I think most people who are into Asian cinema have probably seen this. Not a long movie, 88 minutes long, so you know, that's good. I can get a bit of a breather afterwards. Yeah, fantastic movie. Who's the actual director of this? I actually don't know the director of this. Yeah, Nobuhiko Obayashi. Yeah, a real. I've not seen much of his work, but yeah, let's watch this movie. I've not seen this in a while. I haven't seen this since I got it last year. So let's get this started up. Wish me luck, guys. Alright guys, just taking a bit of a breather. I'm sitting outside, chilling out on my balcony. I've just watched House. Yeah, that's quite a mental film. Story of a girl and her friends. They go to visit the girl's auntie out in the sticks. And later on, the house just starts murdering everyone. It's absolutely bonkers. It's, do you know, it's a cross between like a film like Amityville Horror with you know that Beatles, when the Beatles did a Yellow Submarine, like a feature length film. It's so similar to that. It's absolutely psychedelic. It's bonkers. But you know, it's a masterpiece at the end of the day. It is very different to anything that I've seen before. I think you know, it does. You don't forget the film. You do remember the film. It's so hard to forget. You know what it's all about. You know, it's visually really gorgeous. I mean the special effects aren't anything to really rave about, but at the time it's like 1970s it came out. Yeah, so just on the balcony here, if you can see, just out in London. Just see this London skyline. Don't know if you can see the Shard. In the evening you can see the Shard, it really stands out. Yeah. Alright guys, I'm gonna go make myself a little bit of a snack to eat, and then we're gonna crack on with the next lot. We'll see what's up next on the list. Okay guys, see you in a second. Alright guys, welcome back. Yeah, next up on the list is a film beginning with my surname, which is Sayus. Now I had a few ideas for this one. There's loads of films begin with S that I could have picked, but you know, I wanted to go back to like the roots of why I love Asian cinema, and that was due to like martial arts movies. You know, the movies directed by King Hu, Choi Hark, Chang Che, you know, all the old like the Fortune Star movies, the Shaw Brothers releases, and you know, there is one movie that was from the Fortune Star releases that I absolutely loved, and it created a trilogy. But the first one is one of my favourites. It's one of my favourite movies of all time. It's The Swordsman. This is just a enjoyable movie. I've not seen it for so long. I've had this edition about 2.5, 3 years. Yeah, if you've never heard of this movie, it was originally directed by King Hu. He left Midway Project and it was taken over by Choi Hark. If you don't know who King Hu is, he directed A Touch of Zen, the Dragon, was it Dragon's Inn? He also directed Come Drink With Me. Come Drink With Me was a Shaw Brothers movie, one of the best Shaw Brothers movies, and I think Dragon's Inn was one of the big inspirations for Hateful Eight. It's got the same sort of tension and feel to it, and I think Tarantino said that before, along with like films like The Thing. But yeah, back to this movie. This is just a great cast. Really looking forward to cracking this open again. Once King Hu took over, he was directed by Choi Hark and a few other directors. Choi Hark, like most of you might know, is one of my favourite directors in the past. He's not so good now. So yeah, let's get back onto this now. Let's go see this, and I'll when I return, let's talk about it. Cool guys. Alright guys, we're back. Just finished watching The Swordsman. Yeah, just brought back so many old memories. It's one of those films that like really started off like a crazy like amount of movies, uh, some of the directors in it. Some of the directors from this was Ching Su Tung, who ended up doing the Chinese ghost stories. I know Razor Wire Reviews once put that in one of his in his epic film challenge. Quite a bonkers movie that itself. But this movie, oh my god, it is just where do I begin? Two martial artist students, they steal a manual from which was an heirloom, and it is protected by these evil eunuchs. Every time you see eunuchs in Asian movies, they're just bonkers. They are really crazy characters. Yeah, these eunuchs, they're basically chasing these martial artists. These two martial artists, they go on an adventure, literally just to get away from to keep hold of this manual. There's even like a musical scene in it on which I completely forgot about. There was a time when there was a lot of musicals like scenes in Asian movies, and I forgot there was one in this, and I just think it goes too long. The martial arts in this is fantastic. The sword play is brilliant. It's something you don't really see a lot in modern day Hong Kong films. Like when they do them, they put too many special effects. I mean, there was a Swordmaster came out recently, and I saw that like a few weeks ago. I really didn't enjoy it as much. It's like the same sort of period, like wushu period, like wushu movie periods. But yeah, this one is just a classic. I'm so glad I put it on my list, just to enjoy it again. It's fantastic. This edition itself isn't the best. I mean, it's really nice packaging, but it isn't an upscale. Hong Kong cinema is like the movies were never like well looked after. They were always like kept in like damp sheds and warehouses, and just never looked after. So a lot of it is just all upscales, and like the only people that are still like doing nice restoration are like from the Shaw Brothers. I know some of these Fortune Star movies are getting restored properly nowadays. I'm looking forward to get some restored copies of these. Yeah, Swordsman. Just what a fantastic movie, guys. This, I think, Nova Media re-released this. Still an upscale, so it is still available if you can get hold of it. I don't know if there was a US edition or a UK edition, but this was a Korean version of it. It's limited to 777 copies. This was 732. It's region 3, and just got English, Korean, Japanese, and traditional Chinese subtitles, and is in Cantonese and Mandarin audio. So you've got 2 audio tracks on there. Yeah, guys, I could not recommend this movie enough. You've got to check it out if you're into Asian cinema and want to learn the roots of like Hong Kong cinema. This was like back in the day when it was its heyday. I mean, anything Choi Hart touched at that time was just fantastic and magical. But this is just such a shame he's not at that level now. I've got a movie that I'll be putting up in one of my next Blu-ray updates, which was a Choi Hart movie. I didn't really enjoy it as much, but yeah, guys, that's the Swordsman. Next up is a film considered a flop. I'm going to go through my Blu-rays. I have got one in mind. When I come back, we'll discuss what we're going to watch. Cool, guys, see you in a sec. What to pick out of all these films? I do need to tidy these up, guys. These are a absolute mess, and just to let you know, these are too deep. So All these shells are too deep, with another load behind them. All my fortune stars, all my plain archives, arrows, Studio Ghibli's, Criterions, they're all mixed up together. A bit of a mess, guys. Some of my Koreans up there, CJ Medias. I need to tidy this up at some point. Right, let's crack on with the next lot. Right, guys, next up is a movie considered a flop. I'm really surprised this film is considered a flop. In my eyes, it's a classic. There's so many directors that love this movie. You've got John Woo, Jim Jarmusch, Tarantino, and this director's inspired a lot of their movies. It is Branded to Kill by Seijun Suzuki. We lost him this year. He died at the ripe age of 90. Really sad. And this film is just an absolute masterpiece. I don't know why it's considered a flop. It was very before its time. He was quite a wacky director. I think that's probably why, because it was quite crazy. His movies were pretty out there, and you know, Nikatsu, the people that made these movies, they funded these movies, they wanted just a quick return, so they would push out like 4 movies a month, or even like crazy amounts a week. So yeah, it was really like at a time where they were just making all these B movies, and Seijun Suzuki, he wanted to make, you know, he didn't want to put musicals in his films, and a lot of the Nikatsu movies did do that. So he wanted to use actors that weren't known for singing, and he got what's his name? Joshi Shodo. Sorry, I keep forgetting his name. Joshi Shodo to be in this movie. Most Asian movie fans might know him from his puffy cheeks. He had plastic surgery to make his cheeks more puffy, to look more Western, to look more handsome, macho. And he said it made him look like a bit of a chipmunk, a blowfish. But you know, he's had them removed since. And this just didn't do well with the critics in Japan, even in the box office. So it's a flop in both ways. I mean, it's a flop financially and a flop with critics. But people now see it as a cult classic, and it has inspired a lot of movies. You know, there's a lot of comparisons between this and Melville's movie La Samurai. And it was so gritty, proper film noir. I just want to see this again, guys. Right, I'm gonna watch this now and tell you my thoughts on it. This is Branded to Kill by Seijun Suzuki. And we're back, guys. Just finished watching Branded to Kill. What can I say? It's fantastic. It is just so gritty. It's proper film noir at its best. Let me tell you the premise of it. Joshi Shudo, he plays a hitman. He's part of a task at the beginning of the film to help out another sort of like assassin, member of the Yakuza. From there he meets a woman who gives him a mission to kill someone, pays him money and to kill someone. What happens is he uses a sniper rifle, and a butterfly lands on the scope. From there, just the moment he shoots, and from there he misses, and that's his only chance to kill this person. And from there, because he fails the attempt, he's being hunted by the Yakuza. The one person's hunting him is the number one assassin, so it's like the best versus the best. He's like number two best Yakuza, and the guy hunting him is number one, and the number one guy just turns out to be the guy that he helps out in the beginning of the film. I've spoiled the whole plot there for everyone, but it is just an experience to watch this film. Absolutely gorgeous. Joe Shishuda's character throughout the whole film is this sort of fetish for smelling boiled rice, which is really weird, something that Seijun Suzuki would only do. I think it's just a timeless classic, and it is black and white, but it's just done so, it's absolutely beautiful. And I think Arrow done such a fantastic version releasing this movie. If anyone's not seen it, it's a dual format. The Blu-ray's in the Blu-ray player. Comes with a DVD, a booklet with some essays in there. I think it's got some good special features in there. I mean, Arrow do jam-pack these with great like extra special features. You've got an interview with Joe Shishudo, interview with Seijun Suzuki, which you won't, now that he's passed away this year. He passed away in February. It is really sad. A lot of his films need to be released. I know Arrow releasing a trilogy of his movies in the next few months. It's just fantastic to see his work. Nikatsu just don't know what they had in their hands when they had released this movie, and I wish there was people now could tell them how great this movie is, how great it was going to be, and Seijun Suzuki would have still made movies. Instead, they went to court over sacking him, like releasing him from his contract with Nikatsu, and he never made a lot of movies. He was blacklisted, which is such a shame, because he could have made so many great movies. It is heartbreaking, and watching this, you could have seen so many more movies. I know Arrow released a couple other movies from Nikatsu. This also got a Criterion release, which is quite easily available. I do prefer the Arrow edition, just for the special features. I saw another movie with I don't know if it was I think it was for Tokyo Drifter, which is a Seijun Suzuki movie, and in one of the special features it had Tony Raines talking about interviewing Seijun Suzuki, and Seijun Suzuki saying that he thought he was a better director than who was it? It was I think it's Shimura. Yeah, it was Shimura, which apparently everyone laughed at, and that was the thing about Suzuki. He was arrogant, but I think if he wasn't arrogant, he wouldn't have pushed the level to produce magic like this. And Branded to Kill, My Cult Is My Passport is another fantastic movie. That's only available on DVD. That really needs a Blu-ray release. So if anyone from Arrow is watching this, please release that movie. I'll keep on messaging you on Facebook and Twitter telling you to release that movie, because that is just a great movie. Yeah, guys, that's this one. What we got next? I will probably do an animated movie next. Yeah, I'm going to go through my collection and see what I can find for a nice animated movie. I'm not really into musicals or silent movies, so yeah, let's see what I can find, guys. Right, guys, I'm probably not going to be able to watch this right away, because I've got to take my daughter out. She's getting a bit moany. But when I get back and let her chill out, I'm going to get onto Howl's Moving Castle. A great, I've got a lot of Studio Ghibli movies. This probably isn't my favourite, but it is, a movie that I do fancy watching, and it is enjoyable. I'm going to sit with my daughter and watch it. And the voice actors in this is just fantastic. You've got Christian Bale, Gene Simmons, Billy Crystal. Just a really fun cast. Probably one of Christian Bale's most relaxed characters that he's ever played. He's usually quite tense in his films, quite tense roles he plays. So we're going to go out and probably come back and watch this. At some point I'll be able to return and put a video up of it. Yeah guys, Howl's Moving Castle. Hey guys, welcome back. I've just finished watching Howl's Moving Castle with my daughter. Well, finished watching it about an hour or so ago. Both enjoyed it. It is one of those Ghibli movies which is like more of a fantasy movie with slight moments of surrealism. They're the ones I really like Spirited Away. The ones where with surrealism, funny looking characters, and I really love the artwork. And Miyazaki is just one of the best. I think he's untouchable. I really love them to do more movies. I mean, as I'm doing Asian 24-hour movie marathon, and you're doing an animated, I think you have to put a Miyazaki movie on there at least, or something from like the old manga movies, such as like Akira or Ghost in the Shell. But yeah, today I fancied watching Howl's Moving Castle. It is a good movie. Story starts with a young woman who works in a hat shop, and all of a sudden this wicked witch comes in and puts a curse on her, making her old, look really old. And from there she runs away and comes across Howl, who is a wizard during a time of war, conflict, and the different factions which are at war with each other are employing witches and wizards to fight the war, and he's sort of like caught in the crossfire of that. The visuals are stunning. Howl is like a shape-shifting wizard, and his castle just does actually move. It's like got legs. It's mechanical. It's sort of like a steampunk style, and yeah, it is a fantastic movie. Really great characters in there, and yeah, a fun movie. Most really enjoyable. Next up, I am going to watch a classic that I've never seen. With that, I'm going with something from Amazon Prime. It is a Shaw Brothers movie, one of the few Shaw Brothers movies that I've never seen, and it is Kid with the Golden Arms. I've heard so much about this. One of the members of the Wu-Tang Clan his nickname was named after the main character in this from the film as well, U-God, and it's like one of the few that hasn't been released on Blu-ray. I don't think it's ever had a Blu-ray release. There is a DVD of it in the US, but yeah, it'd be great to see a high def version of it. So I'm about to watch that now, guys, and I will get back to you once I've finished. Cool, stay with me. Hi guys, yeah, I just finished watching Kid with the Golden Arms. What an amazing movie. It is probably one of the best Shaw Brothers movies I've ever seen. It's directed by Chang Che, who has directed some of the best martial arts movies. He was one of the main directors from the Shaw Brothers. It stars the Venom mob. That was like they were like a group of actors, martial artists that did a lot of movies together. We're talking Philip Kwok, Lu Fang. Who else was there? There was Sun Qian, Chang Sheng, Lo Mang, and Wai Pei. Philip Kwok was like the main actor in most of these movies. The movie's about this shipment of gold sent by the government to help a small town that suffering from famine, and to stop it's basically protected by a group of martial artists led by a guy called Yang, and a group of like a gang tried to steal the gold. They're called the Chi Gang. They consist of the Golden Arms, Brass Head, Silver Spear, and a guy called Iron Robe. So they're like got all these special skills, like literally to their names, like Golden Arm. He's got like indestructible arms, so he doesn't use a sword, but he fights people that are using a sword with his fists. So they're like smashing into his arms, and it's just making no damage at all. Quite far-fetched, but at the time, you know, you see about Shaolin monks training and conditioning their arms. So, you know, it's sort of going down those lines. You've got Brass Head, who wears this brass helmet over his head and just attacks with his head. Silver Spear uses a spear, obviously, and Iron Robe has these fans, and he's just protected by this. His robe is just covered in iron, so it's just like protecting him from a sword. The main, like the hero here is a guy called Haito, played by Philip Kwok. He's sort of like a drunken master, constantly drinking wine. And he's the main hero of this film. Really amazingly well played by Philip Kwok. He's just so good in this film, and the martial arts is superb. It's probably one of the best I've seen in a Shaw Brothers movies, and this has gone into like my list of best martial arts movies of all time. I did one last year, and this would definitely been in it if I was to do it again. Absolutely fantastic, perfectly done. The story, it's definitely one of the best Shaw Brothers movies I've ever seen, and yeah, I can't wait to see it again. I hope it gets a Blu-ray release, because I'll definitely get it. Like I said, it's on Amazon Prime, so if you are an Amazon Prime subscriber, definitely check it out. It's so worth seeing. If you're into martial arts, Asian cinema, check it out. Like if you're into Asian cinema, Siege, check out the Shaw Brothers movies. They are superb. 88 films are releasing, loads of them at the moment, but yeah, go check this one out. This is my last movie for today. I'm absolutely knackered. Rest of my movies have all got subtitles in, and just to read subtitles during a film has just been so tiring. I don't know how anyone can do it 24 hours straight through. My hat's off to Ryan Chataway for doing it. It's just, yeah. So cool, guys. When you see me next in this video, it'll be tomorrow, and which is not today. And I'll chat to you then, guys. Take it easy. Hi guys, welcome to the second part of my marathon, the second day I should say. I didn't want to do it all in one day, just because I don't have the time. I have a daughter and a family, and a job, so it's really hard to do. So next up we're going to do the Trilogy, The trilogy I've chosen for several reasons, including that this Blu-ray is my holy grail. It is my favourite Blu-ray in my whole collection. It is the 36 Chambers of Shaolin box set. This is like a rare piece. It's all on Blu-ray. First time that it's all been on Blu-ray. I got this from Hong Kong quite a while ago, and it has all 3 movies in a digipack. So we're going to start off with the first one. If you've never heard of the 36 Chambers of Shaolin, they were one of the greatest Shaw Brothers movies of all time. Inspired many other movies, inspired Tarantino, even inspired the Wu-Tang Clan to make the first album was called 36 Chambers of Shaolin and takes a lot of sampling from it. Starring Gordon Liu. Gordon Liu was in Kill Bill 1 and 2, plays Pai Mei, and Johnny Mo in the first one. Very iconic kung fu actor. He's recently had a stroke, so he's retired. He was also in The RZA's The Man with the Iron Fists. The first one is called the 36th Chamber of Shaolin. It was also called Master Killer. So it's the first one. Let's watch it, and I'll talk about it once it's finished, guys. See you in a minute. Hi guys, I'm back. Just finished watching the 36th Chamber of Shaolin, also known as Master Killer. Before I say anything, it is my favourite martial arts movie of all time. I've said that in the past. I think there's everything about it, from like the intro sequence, seeing that all the training with the pole fighting, swords, and the kung fu is just amazing. What makes this film so special to me, it was the first Shaw Brothers movie I saw, and I just love this movie to pieces. When I was just watching the training sequences, it just makes me want to go out and start training again. It's absolutely fantastic. As we all know, the Shaolin kung fu, the training is very vigorous, and the conditioning is really intense. And this is what it shows. Like, there's scenes with like where he's headbutting like heavy bags, carrying water like on like that. But if he was to drop the buckets, there's blades on the end which will cut him and cut his hips. And just to see that is, it's like, this is awesome. So what it's about is Gordon Liu's character. His family has been killed, and he wants revenge by the Fu Manchu, who run his local town. They kill his family. They're sort of like taught this ideology in school, that the Fu Manchu are bad, and they are bad. They're really like manipulative. They control the town. They're really horrible to the people. So they fight up against them, and some of his friends are killed, and he leaves completely injured after a fight with them, because he wasn't trained in kung fu or anything, and he goes to the temple like completely injured, and from there they train him up. The abbot trains him, and at the end of his training, they say to him, you can run one of the chambers of the Shaolin, and it's there he decides to set up his own chamber called the 36th Chamber. And that leads on to the other 2 movies. This movie is just, it means so much to me watching it. I get so excited watching anything from Shaw Brothers, but this one in particular is amazing. Next up, I'm going to watch The Return of the 36th Chamber. It's a sequel. Just to let you know, it is not connected to the first movie. The second one is its own identity, whilst the first and the third are 1 and 2. I mean, the third one itself is called The Disciples of the 36 Chambers of Shaolin, also known as Master Killer 2. So you've got the first and the third, which is 1 and 2, and the second is its own movie. So yeah, let's go watch the second one, and I'll come back to you after I've watched it, guys. See you in a bit. Hey guys, I've just finished watching Return of the 36th Chamber. It's a very different film from the first one. It starts off in a dye factory, which is run by the Manchu. The Manchu being like a sort of like a government, really evil. They treat people really badly and step over people like a higher class, and just everyone else is in poverty. What happens is the dye factory, all the factory workers are treated really badly by the Manchu. So along comes Gordon Liu's character, who's sort of like a con man, rip-off artist. He's posing as a monk. He's actually pretending to be the character that he played in the first movie, Sante. So what happens is he devises a plan to pretend that he is a real Shaolin monk and make out that he's fighting all these people and that he's protecting the people from the Manchu. The Manchu fall for it, thinking that he's like, oh wow, this amazing Shaolin Kung Fu monk. Later on they find out what this actually happened. So he escapes, and he wants to learn real Shaolin Kung Fu. So he goes to the monastery where they don't accept him, and from there he like begs them to train him. They still don't accept him, and they say to him instead, could you do some building work around the monastery? So that he builds up this scaffolding made out of bamboo, and he's there constantly working, watching the monks train. After a time he gets fed up and leaves, and what happens is his work with the bamboo scaffolding and the way he works in there, the abbot who really gave him this job was sort of teaching him sort of subconsciously, because the work involved a lot of hard work, improving his physique and his strength, as well as him watching the other students train. So from there he leaves the monastery and actually finds the Manchu and has a fight with them and wins in the end. So, but very different to the previous ones where he's actually has more invested into this, into his fight. I mean, Gordon Liu is an absolute amazing martial artist. I've said this so many times. He is my favourite martial artist. This movie itself, I find it's the weakest one out of the trilogy. Other than that, I mean, it's still a good movie, but it's not like, I don't think it's one of the best Shaw Brothers releases. That being said, next one we're going to watch is The Disciples of the 36th Chamber, the sequel to the first movie. So it's a complete back to the original character Sante, Gordon Liu's main character, and we'll watch that now, guys. I'll see you in a bit. Hey guys, I've just finished watching The Disciples of the 36 Chambers. This stars Gordon Liu as Sante, who he played in the original movie. but the main focus of the film is played by Howl, who plays a character, a young upstart character called Yu, who's apparently a legendary martial artist historically. What he basically starts off as a young upstart in his school, has a few problems with the Manchu. He gets into a fight with them, and on the way, basically they go on a search for him. They find his home, and they were going to shut down his throw his parents out their home, and as well as like close down all the schools and gyms in the area, so students cannot learn martial arts, and the Manchu have got more power in that area. So his mother decides to send him and his brothers to the Shaolin temple, so they seek refuge as well as train up to be Shaolin martial artists. So later accepted, but Yu, he's still like has disciplinary problems. He's doesn't listen to Sante at all, and with that he keeps on trying to escape the monastery to go out to parties, festivals, and when he does, he meets up with some other people from the Manchu who try to use him to learn more about the Shaolin martial arts, because the Shaolin were very secluded. They tend not to show their skills and teach people outside. In particular, Sante, who has his own chamber, which I've spoken about previously in this video, is he started up the 36th chamber to teach people outside of the Shaolin. So that's where Yu goes to learn. So you don't have to be a monk to go learn it. So so it's mainly young boys that go there to learn. So from there, the Manchu are basically trying to learn more about Shaolin Kung Fu. There's some brilliant fight scene at the end. It's like massive. It's probably one of the biggest in the whole series of the movies. So it's maybe a lot bigger budget on this one. Also, this was one of the last Shaw Brothers movies up until 2002, and this we're talking about in the late 70s. This movie was made. So they really did go off from quite a high. They didn't become like make rubbish movies near the end of their time. So it is, in a way, was a bit sad to see these films, this film in particular, as it was one of the last of the Shaw Brothers movies. Again, the Shaw Brothers don't do the same sort of movies now that they did back then. Other than that, a very good movie, much better than the second, but the first is still the best movie out of the whole trilogy. So guys, this is the trilogy done. Tomorrow I'm going to do my last videos based on the last film I've got to do, which is a movie of 180 minutes or more. As I've not done a Korean movie yet in this marathon, the last one is going to be a Korean movie. I have one in mind. So guys, thank you so much for watching up to now. I know it's probably the longest video I've ever done, and it's going to be a nightmare to edit. So thank you very much guys so far, and keep watching. So guys, welcome to my final part of my 24-hour movie marathon. It's been quite a long one, lot of movies, and it's almost like, for me, it's just like it's sort of helped me improve the way I do my YouTube videos, like talking more. The thing I love most is just talking about movies. I could probably go on for ages. So this is the final part. This is the last task, is to watch a 3-hour movie. The movie I've chosen is the only Korean movie on my list, and it is Inside Men. It came out 2 years ago, starring Lee Byung-hun. This edition is just fantastic. It was one of my favourite releases of last year, and it's just like completely sold out. I even have like a signed card in there from one of the actors. There's actually two versions of the film. There's the theatrical and the original version. The original version is 180 minutes exactly. The theatrical is 130, so it's quite a big difference, like a lot that's been cut out. So I'm watching the original version, and I'll get back to you once I've watched it, guys. See you in a bit. Hi guys, welcome back. I've just finished watching Inside Man. Fantastic movie, one of the best in recent times of the Korean cinema. A great Korean movie, great performances. Lee Byung-hun in there gives one of his best performances. I think it's his best performance since Masquerade. I know he's done a few English speaking films since Masquerade, but this one is his best. His most recent one, Master, isn't so good. It was a bit of a letdown for me. But coming back to Inside Men, I love watching this movie. It's a story of corruption in a city, in the whole of Korea, really. Corrupt politician is taking bribes from a car manufacturer, and the press, led by one editor of a right-wing newspaper, sort of like the Sun, the Mail, very corporate and anti, like socialist. He basically is on the side of the corruption. He's sort of helping the corruption go along. He's like the middleman between the politicians and the car industries. And he has this henchman played by Lee Byung-hun, who does like little dirty jobs. He also provides a politician, the car CEOs, and the editor with prostitutes at the beginning of the film. From there, he sort of like knows that he knows a lot of information, so he tries to, in some way, blackmail them, say, listen, you're not looking after me enough. I know all this information about you. And from there, they have him kidnapped. They cut off his hand and have him sectioned, so no one listens to him, so he doesn't talk. From there, after a while, he escapes and plots his revenge. Like I said, Lee Byung-hun just gave a stand-up performance in this. You really feel for him, and at the same time, like, he's a bit of a dirty bastard in this film. The performances are fantastic, and the cinematography is fantastic as well. It's absolutely beautiful. Some really nice lighting effects at the beginning of the film, which I really enjoyed. And yeah, fantastic movie. To put a Korean movie in, I wasn't really planning to, not by intention. I just had a list of films. I could have put Seven Samurai in this place, or put Seven Samurai in a movie beginning with a number. But I wanted to put a Takashi Miike film in there, and also had to put a Korean film in there. It's part of like my channel, what I do. But I did do an all Asian movie marathon. I'm really glad to anyone who's watched it all the way from the beginning to the end. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I know it's probably not as long as other YouTubers, Luke from Razor Wire Reviews, last year I think he done a 6-hour video, which is just immense. Just the editing would have been really long. I don't really edit very well. My editing skills are just quite not up to scratch. I haven't edited it for like years till I started this channel, and getting back into the software is just longer, like takes a while. But yeah, thank you again, guys. I just also like to say I've dedicated this movie marathon to Seijun Suzuki, one of my favourite directors. He died earlier this year, and this whole marathon is dedicated to him. Please check out his movies. Arrow release them. Also, Eureka Master Cinema releases movies as well. Yeah, check his movies out. So yeah, guys, thank you so much. Click subscribe, comment below, let me know what you think of the movies I've seen. If you think I could have picked a better movie, like, it's all subjective, you know. I don't want to cause a fight on YouTube, on the comments below. But yeah, what you would have recommended. And yeah, guys, like, comment, subscribe, follow, add me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and see you soon, guys. Take care. See ya.